fucking 3-box. I want Jack on a 3-box right now. Boots, 3-box
I'm not.
Jack.
Look,
I want him to answer for his egregious claims, Megan, before we started the show.
look. I don't know if his second claim was true, but the first one, the uniforms kind of do suck. I'll kind of agree with him on that
They're
one.
purple and white.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yours
suck.
are literally purple and white. They just have a little bit of yellow.
Bro, LSU's
Oh my
uniforms, just
god.
ask Brandon Walker, ask Casey Smith. The LSU has the cleanest uniform combination colors in the entire world. It is what it is. It is what it is. The people will back me up on this. Just at Casey Smith, at Brandon Walker.
What are the colors that they claim to use?
Purple,
Okay.
yellow, and white.
It's just yellow. It's not like marigold or some ridiculous name.
Bro, we don't need to have a bunch of
Okay.
like. We're not like a
So
crazy
basically, you guys have the
tie.
same two colors that K-State has, but you added yellow.
Yeah,
Got
but you're
it. Okay,
just
no,
you're,
no,
you're all just don't
no
pop.
problem. You guys should have beat Tennessee too. So let's just keep going.
Well, again, muffed punt, but that's neither here nor there. I'll hear you crying whenever you lose in the Big 12 championship. So we'll just go from there.
Megan, you want to make a side bet right now? Let's have a
No,
side bet.
bitch, I
Let's
don't
say
want to make a side bet with you. Fuck you. No, I don't want to make a side bet. You can suck my dick. Let's get into the
pretty sure I have
show.
pictures of Megan in K-State gear, just in case anybody wants me to tweet
Yeah,
them.
who was I going to cheer for? Missouri while I had sideline passes with you? No, I don't roll like that. I'm a public square and I do what everyone expects me to do.
Team player. Megan's a team player. Unlike
Exactly.
Jack
Speaking of
McCarthy.
which, make sure you go check out the chat right now. What was the question? It
Who
was
has
about
a
the
better
Packers.
chance to make the playoffs? Pick
Okay, that's what
Packers
the
or Bucks.
question was. Because we got all our blood got all boiled and we're all flustered. It's just a very Monday. Kelly says she loves Mondays. I fucking
I
hate
love
Mondays.
Mondays.
If you like Mondays, throw an L in the chat. Because that's what I feel like it should happen. But let's just go over the weekend. We got to go over the college football weekend. We got to go over the NFL weekend. LSU pulled off a win. K-State pulled off a win. So we should actually both be relatively happy.
I'm in a great mood.
Also, die on the hill from last week and like 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to do it again this week because you know why? They're catching over a touchdown. How about those motherfucking Mountaineers? I loved laying over
They
the
already up to
touchdown.
a touchdown. It was open 5.
I thought it was. I Barstool. I think I got it at 7 or 8.
Oh, last week versus Oklahoma. Are you talking about this week?
Last week was +8. This week, I also think it was +7 because I already hit it this morning. Unless I'm having a
Oh
dream.
my God, Megan, you're right. It's already up to 8. It opened in Vegas -5. Let's go, Cats. I'm okay. Now I'm in an even better mood. I did not like the -5.
So all I'm saying is West Virginia has been my little gold mine. As long as they're at home catching over a touchdown, it's been my cheat system, if you will. Sorry, I'm trying to log into the Barstool Sportsbook, but you already did that. Let's talk about some more interesting. Good call. We both took ECU right to start the week, so that was a super good call by the both of us. Bad calls by us. Louisville, Syracuse.
I'll own
Absolutely.
Syracuse is a bad call, but when Malik Cunningham goes out in the second quarter, that's not very fair. I'll just say that. I
Did
didn't
he
make
not
that
come
bet.
back in?
I was at this bar called George's in Waco, and things got a little fuzzy there, so I don't really recall
So,
when he came back in because I basically just turned on a different game and said, "Screw this."
Because I saw your tweet, and then I thought I also saw him still like back in the game, and I'm like, what the fuck? I know Kelly wouldn't just like tweet some like off the wall obscure information, or did he come back in? Or maybe my day was a little fuzzy. But yeah, Syracuse, that was just a complete and total like again, we've clowned Norvell all year long laying points. But what the fuck has happened? Like this, I will say that if y'all want to clown my LSU team, that this Florida State loss looks a little bit better
Yeah.
these days.
would
It
agree
really
with that.
does. But that Syracuse game was
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely
it's like they lost the Clemson game 3 times, basically. Like they
yeah.
after that Clemson loss, it's just like they never came back. Something I wanted to address, I brought up on Spaces on Saturday morning with Mincy. And I started realizing that every game I put in my parlay is the wrong one. So I gave out every single money line dog that was on my Monday list. And of course, 3 of them won outright. 4 of them did not. And 2 of them covered but did not win outright. I'm kicking myself, Megan. I really am. And I think I've been thinking long, thinking wrong here, doing these Friday afternoon parlays. So I owe everybody in the Money Shots universe an apology. But I will start tweeting out my list in entirety. and then you guys can just make your own parlay because it's got to be better than me trying to do it myself.
Hey, look, I feel you. Speaking of which, make sure you have liked and subscribed to the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube. But it is Monday, and you know what we have on Mondays? Making money Mondays. And speaking of not being able to put together a winning parlay, your girl over here knows a little bit about that. It's been a rough going, especially when you have insurance on legs. However, I do have one over there tonight, which we will get into later after we get through the college football slate and the NFL slate from the weekend. A couple more just things to touch on. How about TCU? Horns down, huh? I saw a lot of people wearing their Texas gear, thinking they were really cool, making videos, being like, "Oh, Texas is about to smash." And even I told you beginning of the week, I'm not sure what to make of this line. And Mincy even was like, I don't know, that's pretty smelly. I'll lean towards Texas, and if I'm looking at it this situation, but hey man, horns down, huh?
Love to see it, Megan. This is exact same analysis I gave on Saturday Spaces when Mincy said the same thing. I said, Mincy, just like I said last week when the game was in Manhattan, Kansas, I said if Quinn Ewers plays a perfect game, they will beat Kansas State. And what did he do in Manhattan? Played a perfect game. You know what he didn't do in Austin versus TCU? Threw an interception, had a fumble. It was not a good day for the Mullets. And that is why TCU won that one in a low scoring snooze fest. Megan, I'm at
Well,
K
I
State
was expecting that game to be fireworks. I'm not gonna lie.
fireworks. I literally thought the score app was broken. I was like, something's wrong. So I get on the stadium Wi-Fi in Waco and I'm like, refresh. It's still 0-0. Finally, I text somebody else. I'm like, can you tell me what the K-State, or excuse me, what the TCU Texas scores? And they're like 0-0.
Yeah.
Don't you have a score app? I couldn't believe it. I completely agreed with you. I thought like 38-31 kind of final type of game. I was really appalled at both offenses, frankly.
Let's see what else is happening here. Well, anything touch on UNC.
You
I
can talk
took
about
UNC.
Arkansas.
We can talk about Arkansas. We can and how we how we should have won that game. Three.
How I should have waited to bet that game instead of on
Yeah,
Monday and push. Yeah, that was joyful.
I
I
had a
really
that was
enjoyed that one.
I took a home team push for that game. I
Okay.
didn't mind there. I will say a home team that I took that just completely underperformed, or either that or UCF overperformed. Tulane, man, they shit the bed.
Yeah,
That
they
was
did.
just an awful game by Pratt. They couldn't get the run. They couldn't get anything going, and they couldn't stop a nosebleed. I will say UNC, great call by me. Everyone I felt like was on Wake Forest, and I feel like I was the only one on UNC besides me and Katie Stats. But
I ended up on the under. My good friend Joe said, "Hey, this line's gotten out of control," and I was like, "This is nauseating, Megan." Like every time I like hit the score app, I refresh. I'm like, "Oh God, this is going to be like 100 points," and it
yeah.
somehow stayed under. Somehow stayed under. I couldn't believe it.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the NFL weekend recap before we go into tonight's just amazing game. We keep getting these great primetime games on Mondays and Thursdays. I don't really, I know you've said the whole, who is Jeff Bezos pissed off for us to get
Well,
these
Thursday
games?
night it makes sense, but Monday night that's just unacceptable. At least Sunday night is like been somewhat respectable, right?
Right, but I feel like Monday we all deserve. Like it's one that we work
Okay.
hard all week long. You can start us off with a little like, a good little slob on a Monday. Like give me something good, I don't know. But let's go into the weekend. How about those packs? Go pack go. We sat over here literally clenching our buttholes, our closing our eyes, our nose, crossing our fingers. And it's so crazy to think that we have to feel that way about Aaron Rodgers. Like, I shouldn't have to feel
It's
that
not
way about him.
It's the defense, it's the offensive line, and it's every receiver not named Watson or any running back not named Jones. That's the frustrating part. They have like no depth, but congrats to Watson out of North Dakota State. This was his coming out party. They drafted him
Okay.
and they got completely criticized. I have no idea why they waited until November to put him in to the mix as a wide receiver 1 or 2, but I'm glad they did because when that muffed punt happened, I shut the TV off. I had just walked into my house from the
Look,
airport and I was like, fuck this, I'm going to bed.
sometimes it takes one muffed punt to ruin an entire game. Just want to throw that out there. But anyway, I want to die on the hill that I am no longer going to be afraid to lay the hook. So the 3.5, not 7.5, but I was afraid to lay 3.5 with the Dolphins. And I don't, and in Miami, I think that's my die on the hill. I'm going just kind of like how I'm taking the over the touchdown with the Mountaineers at home. If Miami's at home and I'm getting that 3.5, I'm still going to bite no matter what. They just absolutely fucking demolished the Browns. Just, I mean, it was an ass kicking. They looked fantastic. I actually, and I'm gonna pat myself on the back here. I had 3 games on my card, well, 2 games in a teaser, and I went 3-0. So I'm gonna go ahead. Finally, got some NFL love, and I'm hoping that tonight I will also go 3-0 on my parlay.
Are you
But
going to tell us what is in your parlay?
yeah, I'm gonna get there. I'm
You're
gonna
going to
get
wait?
there.
Okay.
We're gonna get
Yeah,
there.
I don't have a hill to die on necessarily, Megan, as far as mine goes, but congratulations to your 3-0. I should have been 2-0. Land at the airport. It's 24-10. Bears. No, yeah.
Also, I saw
Stay
your
on the
tweet.
point.
You told me to sprinkle the money line on the Packers if I'm going to play the
Okay.
Packers. You're like, Megan, if you're going to get them plus 4.5, you have to. You literally said it on the show. I want Jack
I
to like
know.
go back
I
and
know.
listen.
I know. I know. I know.
Then I
Okay.
saw your tweet, and you're like, I didn't do it.
Okay.
I wanted to
It's not
punch
that I
you.
didn't do it. It's because I thought I did it and I didn't do it. That's what makes it even worse. I thought I had already put in a couple of shekels on the Packers money line and I logged in and it was not there. And then I started to panic like, how's it not there? Did it get like canceled? Like what happened? And no, just sure enough, I'm a jackass. This is the hard part of what I do. 4 days a week, I'm a nice, studious handicapper. I sit here at this desk. I preach to everybody else, mainly because I need to remind myself. And then on the weekends, I'm a complete and utter asshole. And I had 0 American dollars, Megan, on the Packers money line, and I that could have given me enough, just a little bit of profit.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Question: do you really think that T.J. Watt being back on the Steelers really helped fling them forward, if you will, because I watched that game. They looked like they beat the shit out of the Saints. And I haven't been high on the Saints this year, but
Yeah, well,
granted,
I'd
the
love to know why
Steelers
Andy
haven't
Dalton's
looked
still
great
under
either.
center.
What?
I said I'd love to know why Andy Dalton's still under center. That's a frustrating thing in itself. It's really, really tough. Either way, I does TJ Watt benefit that defense? Of course he does. Sometimes I wonder, Megan, and we talk about different situations and things. So when like quarterbacks get hurt or an integral part of the defense or some sort of captain gets hurt, we know that there can be a next man up, right? And they can fill in and they play their asses off. I call it the injured player theory. So sometimes when those guys come back, especially someone like TJ, who is a leader of that team, especially that defense, I think it can really rejuvenate things and bring back like a let's fucking go mentality.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what exactly happened with the Steelers. Because you're right, I didn't get to watch all of that game. I had the Saints in a teaser. I was sitting at the airport bar with my good friend Chris, and he goes, Cal, you have the Steelers in a teaser, right? I go, yeah, plus 7.5. He goes, guess what just hit 1.5? I said, the Steelers are a 1.5 point favorite now. So I look and I'm like, all right, I got to tease the Saints on the other side so I can hit both sides. Yeah, that was a genius move by me.
It's okay. You want to know a genius move? Making Jeff Saturday the coach. Because that. How about that
Okay, first of all,
for the Raiders?
time out. I need Big Cat to stop trying to put Jake the Snake in as head coach in Denver. Stop it, stop it, stop it. I already had to
Let's
live
just
through this
mix
man
things
as a
up.
Broncos
Look,
fan.
hey, Big Cat hit
No,
his can't lose parlay last night. So right now,
I'm
I'm
happy
Team
for him,
Big
but
Cat.
stop with Jake Plummer. Jeff Saturday, completely different scenario. You know why? Because he was an offensive lineman and he got in the middle of those offensive linemen's asses and said, why the fuck is Sam Ellinger our starting quarterback? Let's put in the guy that actually has some experience here. And look at Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, a little bit faster than I thought he was.
Well, just a little bit.
Not much.
He
But
still looks like a
I
baby
caught
horse when he
that and I
runs.
go, okay, Matt Ryan.
Okay, go off, Matt Ryan. Go off. I did fall asleep during the Chargers Niners game, and when I did fall asleep, the Chargers were winning. So I was like, "Fuck it! This means that this is my L of the day." But look at the Niners coming
Yeah.
back and getting that win for me. I ended up scoring
I
like
had
nine.
to watch 2 hours of Yellowstone, and it turns out I missed zero of that game. I didn't have any action on outside of Niners and a teaser, so I didn't really care. And I was like, 2 hours of Yellowstone. Kind of tired of football after the Bears loser. Packers get the win, and I was just like, all right, I'm mentally tapped. Let's watch some Yellowstone.
I think I'm gonna watch Yellowstone once everyone stops talking about it because at this point, it doesn't even appeal to me.
Oh, it's so good, Megan.
It's like when everyone was first starting to
Like
watch
I'm like
did watch
Beth
Game of Thrones
without the
before it
daddy
was completely
issues.
done.
I'm just the vindictive bitch that it does not have like some weird childhood trauma.
Oh, I have a ton of childhood trauma. I can give you some if you want it.
I
Um,
can give you some if you want.
all right, let's move on to Monday Night Football. You have the Commanders at the Eagles. The Eagles are 11-point favorites. And the total was sitting at 43 and a half. And I'm going to let you guys know my parlay tonight. You think that this square bitch is going to go take the Eagles. No, no, I'm not.
Ooh.
I'm taking the Commanders, and you can get them in
Whoop,
my
whoop.
parlay plus 11 and a half. Why? Because we don't want to push. I also have the under 43 and a half. And then I also have McLaurin over 4.5 receptions. So that's the parlay plus tonight. Opt in, $25. If it's a winner, it's at plus 650, almost 7 to 1. But if not, for each leg that does hit, you get $10 back in bonus cash. And as I said in the beginning of the show, I know these parlays have been rough. I get that. And I know that the Eagles manhandled essentially the Commanders the first time around. But this Commanders team is built to slow the tempo and keep games within reach. And I really think we see a better effort, not even a better effort, just a this is the second time they're playing. It's hard to beat a team twice. And I'm not saying that the Commanders are going to go out there and pull off the upset. But I do think that they can keep it within 11 and a half points. I think that the ground game is going to come in big here, which is why I like the under 43 and a half. And McLaurin has been killing the receptions, and Heineke has been dumping off to him a lot, and has kind of found a little space with him, if you will. And even whenever it was Wentz, whenever they played the Eagles last time, McLaurin still went over the 4.5 receptions. So I feel safe with him here. Again, this parlay almost goes against everything that I normally think. I am such a square sucker in the NFL, and the Eagles look so easy because they're 8-0. They're taking this one game at a time mentality. They're 0-0, and it's hard. It's hard. However, I'm getting 11 and a half. 11 and a half just seems like an egregious amount of points in the NFL where both teams, I know again, one is 8-0 and the other is not, but they're all professional athletes. Like the Commanders could very well keep this in a 7-point game.
Megan, I could argue against everything you just said, right? We know the Eagles are undefeated. I retweeted that undefeated stat on my Twitter this morning, saying that they're almost 64% against the spread. They're 4-0 against the spread at home this year. And at home, by more than 8 points, they're actually averaging a margin of 14. The Commanders cannot compete in a shootout. We know this. But I'm with you. I like the Commanders here. You know I love those double-digit road underdogs. You nailed it.
But it's hard.
Commanders.
It's hard. It's hard to
No,
take them.
no, it's not. It's actually really easy. We're going to buck all of those bullshit trends that everybody's using to fit their Eagles narrative because this is what the commies are going to do. They're going to run the ball. They're going to kill the clock. Their defense has been so good. And they got their best defensive player back tonight, which is fucking awesome. I expect this to be a really great game. I lean towards the under, but I'm going to take the points with you instead. And also sprinkle a little bit on Terry McLaurin anytime touchdown score plus 230. I would, if I didn't agree with the under, I would go double dip here like Rico would. 19 to
But what
1.
you can do is you can parlay the touchdown with the over 4.5 receptions because it was plus money. The over 4.5 receptions was plus 114. So
Ooh.
if people just like that as a prop, I mean, he really has been going. I think he's gone over that in more games than
Well,
not.
yeah, when he doesn't have Carson Wentz as his quarterback, it makes it a lot easier. Trust me, I know he's on my fantasy team. And we're actually finally getting some points from this man because he no longer has Carson Wentz as his quarterback. I'm with you here. I love your parlay tonight, Megan. I
Let's
actually maybe
go.
jump on your parlay.
I would
That makes
love
it a
that.
lot easier. I like the 11 and a half, like you said. That way you don't push, even though 11 doesn't happen very
Doesn't
often.
happen often,
Well,
but
but look how many missed PATs yesterday we saw in the NFL by professional kickers. I think there was like 5 missed PATs yesterday. It was absolutely bullshit.
It
I'm so glad that none of them affected my life because if the Bears landed 2 over that missed PAT, there would have been an emergency landing.
I was thinking about you during that game. I was like, if the Bears come down and kick a field goal and Kelly loses the 2.5 because of that missed fucking field
What
goal,
a
and that
trophy by
possession
me,
point,
Megan.
yeah.
What else would have could have happened? Nothing. That's why I was like, "Good. I hope you guys lose. If you're not gonna cover, I hope you lose."
Well,
And that's my motto. I'm
well,
sticking to it.
that's my motto. Put it on a shirt. All right, guys. Again, make sure you have liked and subscribed to the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube page so you can come back and watch money shots all throughout the week. Make sure you're voting in the poll because we got some fun questions happening.
It's not a trick question. The answer is the Packers will be the team to make the playoffs, not the Bucks. In case you guys want to know.
Well, Tom Brady did win in Germany this weekend, so
He's
congratulations,
undefeated since he got divorced. I'm very happy for him. What
congratulations,
a
Tom
free
Brady.
man.
But make sure you are following Money Shots, myself, Kelly, all the fun guests we have on the show, Rico, Che, Mincy, Jack McCarthy, Booze, Jake Malisack. I would make a joke about that, but it's too soon. But anyway, we will be back here Thursday to go over the college football weekend with Mr. Bosco, and then back Friday with Che, and then Monday will be our only show because
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving holiday. So
I
we'll
love
see you
getting my
guys.
birthday work every single year, Megan. It's absolutely incredible. It's
Kelly
like,
has a birthday coming up. She doesn't want anyone to know that, but
oh,
she
I
does.
don't care.
I'm
I,
just joking.
I, I'm just gonna eat my face off and drink lots of good wine.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm gonna do dishes and cook and take care of kids. But
No
we'll
thanks.
see you guys back here on Thursday, and go Commanders.